Yeah, one's dead. Two dead.
They were going to.
One dead.
They're in the house right now.
If you're like me, then for the most part, you don't think much about your loadout. You kind of just spin the wheel for what meta gun you feel like using today, bring 3 vitalities and a stamina shot, and click on some heads. But when you put your mind to it, loadout building can be quite complicated. There's a lot of nuance involved, especially when you take into consideration tools, consumables, and traits. But in favor of staying on topic and keeping this video under an hour, let's focus on slots 1 and 2, your primary and secondary weapons. These two will dictate not only the rest of your build, but how you play overall, and depending on what guns you choose to bring, they'll make up the bulk of your loadout cost as well. With these parameters in mind, there are 2 primary factors to prioritize when picking your weapons. The premise here is simple. You want to think about your guns having tiers like how there are 3 tiers of hunters in this game. I mean, they technically already do, but I doubt anyone bothers to remember that. If you can't justify why your tier 1 level 1 hunter with no traits is holding a $1,200 gun, they probably shouldn't be holding a $1,200 gun. And vice versa. A level 50 hunter has no reason to be holding a Springfield. That being said, unlike hunters, your loadout can evolve. To put it plainly, as your hunter levels up, so should your loadout. The basic reasoning behind this is that it's the most cost-effective way of playing the game. If you're constantly running out with expendable hunters with expensive weaponry, you'll find that makes a pretty efficient strategy for getting poor quickly. Inversely, your maxed out marksman won't be able to make do with mediocre munitions. But the main reason behind evolving your loadout is a bit more convoluted. Take many hunters' go-to rifle of choice, the Mosin Nagant M1891, and you'll find its stats to be fairly mediocre for its level and price, but that's not taking into account its relevant traits. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about them, but just bear with me here. Taking Bullet Grubber and Iron Sharpshooter rounds out the rifle to near perfection. Add an uppercut with a fanning and you're just about ready for anything. But notice that these additions require both time and money, something a hunter you're starting off with just won't have. Meanwhile, take a look at the Versatility, a weapon overlooked by most, and for good reason, yet is the fastest bolt-action rifle in the game while still doing decent damage. It's a bit pricey by tier 1 weapon standards, but the Springfield and Winnie C make for amazing substitutes if money's a concern. This is the real reason why you should pick your loadouts proportionally. The fact that most high-tier weapons can't even be taken full advantage of until you have some experience means that you should start from the bottom, then work your way up. Start out with the basic kit, then once you have more money and XP after a win, gear out your hunter and repeat the process. That way, not only are you spending your money efficiently, but your guns can also benefit from the traits that you can now buy. Essentially, if you want to be playing at your best, what you need to do is use the correct tier weapons for the correct tier hunter. If you learn to start off with the bare minimum, then work around your levels as you go, you can easily identify in what areas you're lacking and use the spoils of the hunt to round yourself out. Which leads me to my next topic. Now that your hunter's leveled up, it's time to decide what kind of equipment style suits you best. After your first game, you're essentially at a crossroads for how you continue playing, focusing on versatility or doubling down on specific playstyle. For the inexperienced hunter, the first option seems like the obvious choice. And yeah, if you're a newer player with less than 100 hours, I would strongly recommend this route. That way, you're prepared for any possible situation that you might get into. But for the experienced player who knows how to dictate the situation, I would suggest specialization or doubling down. Here's why. It's fairly obvious why versatility is a great option. You're ready for any situation that might catch you off guard. But being a jack of all trades also means being a master of none. Any hunter built around versatility will lose against one who's doubled down. By choosing to prioritize their strengths over their weaknesses, by the time the two engage, the specialized hunter has ensured that they will be fighting on his terms. As a versatile hunter, it's very hard to achieve the opposite and capitalize on weaknesses against an enemy who knows what they're doing. Through this lens, you can see that, though foregoing rounding out your hunter limits your playstyle options overall, it enables you to dominate the playing field you specialize in. If you know how to play smart and control the fight, this strategy guarantees the upper hand in almost any situation. Honestly, grade A game design on Crytek's part. Follow these steps and you'll be well on your way to mastering making loadouts. Now, if only there was a quicker way to equip them. Thank you all so much for watching. Before I continue, I would like to give a huge shout out to my friend Dragonfruit. He's the independent artist behind all of the music used in my videos. Without him, a lot of my footage would end up like this.
Yeah, one's dead. Two dead.
At the moment, you can find his music both on YouTube and SoundCloud completely for free. He's also currently trying to get his music out on Spotify, but it would cost him money to hire a distributor. If y'all could show him some love by getting him to at least 20 subs, it could be enough traffic to justify the purchase. Also, I'm gonna start streaming on Twitch again. I thought I could remain active here by casually posting weekly gameplay, but I didn't even like how most of those videos turned out, so it wasn't even worth the effort. Instead, I'm gonna cut out the editing step and just stream my games to you guys live every week consistently on Thursday, and whenever else I have the time. Thank you for watching until the end. Here's a blooper featuring Adne and SharpChedda, who helped with the intro fight sequence.
Sorry about that.
Okay, you're good. We can't have any workplace injuries, okay? My record is clean so far. I don't want anything on that.
Oops. Well, I'm glad my hip fire missed him. That was a hip fire.
Alright, is that good?
Yeah. Alright, thanks a ton, you guys. I'll credit you. I'll put you in the description.
Oh, we're done. Sorry.